So before beginning this video, a little disclaimer. I want to target this video mainly towards the Indian audience because I feel that they are a little misinformed and a little outdated when it comes to this particular topic of Intel versus AMD. Because I feel that most people among the general public feel that AMD is a lower quality and an inferior product compared to Intel. Alright, with that out of the way, what's up guys, my name is Diptesh and you're watching Diptesh Loves Tech. So guys, we have finally reached 1000 subscribers and I'm very thankful to you guys for showing me love and support. Keep supporting me, I appreciate it so much. And those guys who are new to the channel, then go ahead and smash that subscribe button and also turn on notifications. You can also follow me on social media at @allstardeep on Instagram and direct message me all your queries. Alright guys, without any further ado, let's start the video. So for those guys who don't want to watch the complete video, although I recommend you to watch the complete video, here's the short answer. AMD has now beaten or crushed all competing Intel products from low end to the absolute high end in productivity workflows like video editing and 3D modeling, and has effectively matched Intel in gaming performance in desktops as well as, here's the kicker, in laptops as well. AMD now has better overall performance, better performance per watt, that is efficiency, generates less heat and still provides better value for money than all competing corresponding Intel products. Ever since AMD released the Zen architecture, AMD has been really progressing at relentless pace. At the time, Intel had the Core i7-6900, which was an 8-core processor for $1100, and we thought it was enough. But AMD wasn't gonna give up as they unveiled the Ryzen 7 1800, which was an 8-core CPU for just $499. They soon followed it up with the Threadripper 1950X, which was an insane, monstrous 16-core processor for just $999. Intel already had the 18-core i9-7980XE, which was actually better in performance compared to the Threadripper 1950X, but we must remember that it was twice the price at $2000, and AMD was quickly closing the gap when it came to multi-threading performance. However, with the release of Zen 1, that is second generation Threadripper and Ryzen CPUs, AMD just changed the game. AMD released the Threadripper 2990WX, which was a 32-core behemoth of the CPU for just $7099, and it was so good that it could actually keep up with Intel's $3000 workstations. That was a Xeon W3175X, which was incredible. Then, a few months later, Intel launched the Core i9-9980XC, which was actually better than Threadripper in clock speed sensitive tasks like Adobe Creative Suite and gaming. However, it was more expensive at $2000 and the difference wasn't much. However, due to having lot more cores in the Threadripper 2990WX, it was easily beating the Core i9-9980XC in multi-threading workloads. Now, in the current situation, AMD has CPUs, great CPUs like the Ryzen 9 3950X, which is a 16-core CPU for just $750, and I recommend you to watch Linus Tech Tips video on it, and I reiterate the title of the video. Intel could take years to catch up. That's how big the difference is. The Ryzen 9 3950X just destroys the Core i9-9980XE at 1/3 of the price. To counter this, Intel then launched the Core i9-10980XE, which was actually at half the price of the Core i9-9980XE at $1000, but it still couldn't beat the Ryzen 9 3950X. That's how far AMD was at the moment. In fact, that's how far AMD is at the moment. And did I mention that AMD also has 24 and 32 cores, Ryzen 9 3960X and 3970X at $1400 and $2000 respectively. Intel has no answers compared to these products. Now you may ask, that's alright Diptesh, what about mid-range and low end of the spectrum? Yes, that's where AMD is once again dominating, with really awesome high performance value for money processors like the Ryzen 7 3700X, which delivers twice the cores compared to the Core i7 9700K, and the very popular Ryzen 5 3600X and 3600, which easily blows away the Core i5 9600K. And also the very popular Ryzen 5 3500 is also available at very cheap prices as low as 10,300 Indian rupees, which gives you 6 cores. And in fact, in my opinion, the Ryzen 5 3500 is the best choice CPU when you're looking to build a mid-range workstation and gaming PC in 2020. It is that good. It is seriously impressive. Then in the entry-level section, AMD has raised the bar once again with the newly released Ryzen 3 3100 and 3300X. These two chips are based on the 7nm architecture and under the Zen 2 architecture, which boasts a lot more efficiency and much better IPC performance, that is instructions per cycle. The Ryzen 3 3100 gives you 4 cores and 8 threads for just $99 US, and you give $20 more and you have the awesome Ryzen 3 3300X at just $120 US. Both the Ryzen 3 3100 and 3300X easily destroys the competing corresponding Intel Core i3 counterparts at the moment. In fact, the Ryzen 3 3300X easily keeps up with the Core i5 9400F. Just a few days back, Intel released the new Core i9 10900, which is very difficult to say, the Core i9 10900K, and which actually has some improvements compared to the previous generation, but it still does not keep up with the Ryzen 9 3900X in multi-threaded workloads. While AMD has moved on to the latest 7nm architecture design, Intel is still stuck with the really old 14nm base architecture that they have since 2016's Skylake. And yes, they have made multiple improvements over it, and now it calls it 14 plus 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 plus, which sounds horrible, by the way. They can only do that much with the same old architecture, and it doesn't come close in performance and efficiency compared to AMD's latest 7nm architecture. In fact, the difference is in generations. Intel's main problem is that they have actually jumped onto the 10nm bandwagon a little too early, and they have recently accepted that their 10nm architecture is performing poorly. Okay, I'm going to read a little bit of news from my laptop right now. So, in a very honest reflection on the state of Intel's current competitive position, CFO George Davis not only admitted that 10nm won't be as profitable as previous node, but that Intel is in fact behind other foundries when it comes to manufacturing technology. Davis doesn't expect Intel will actually catch up till its 7nm process becomes available in 2021. While Intel is struggling to make up ground after the 10nm delays, AMD has continued to improve and resulting in significant sales shift. Meanwhile, Intel has decided to backport designs to older processes and overlap generations in an effort to keep up with demand. Alright, that was all about desktop CPUs. Now you may ask about what about laptops? In fact, that is an even more interesting topic, and we will discuss it in the next video, as this video is getting a little longer. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, then you hit the like button. If you did not like it, hit the thumbs up button. Comment down below about what you feel about the video and all your queries. As I said, you can follow me on Instagram at @allstardeep and direct message me all your queries, and I'm always there to help you. And once again, thank you so much for 1000 subscribers, and keep supporting. If you're new to the channel, then definitely subscribe and turn on notifications as well. Alright guys, I'm Nitesh, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.